Hello, welcome back for another few moments of relaxation. I'm so happy you joined me for one more time. The picture that you see on the screen is that of a crossroads. Some people might say that left is wrong and going right is correct because of how we've traditionally thought of it here in America. However, I know of several different places that you can get to going either direction and end up in the same exact place. So removing judgment, just see the picture as a choice if you choose to. We all have choices that we can make every day. The biggest choice that affects our lives is how we feel inside. I know that outside stimulus makes a difference, but the biggest difference in how we feel inside is what we're telling ourselves on the inside. Well, what I'd like to do is just have us relax our bodies for a few minutes, after which I will have a short reading and then we'll be finished for this session. Feel free to relax your back into the back of your chair. If you feel comfortable doing so, you may close your eyes. Place your feet flat on the floor in front of you. Allow your shoulders, arms, and neck to relax down and back into the chair. Place your palms upward in your lap. Notice your breath. Feel your chest rising and falling as you breathe. Feel the temperature of the room. What does it feel like? Noticing everything around you that you can hear, that you can feel with your skin. It helps to ground you. Make your breaths deeper. When you inhale, think the word peace. Peace, inhale. Stress, exhale. Inhale peace, exhale stress. Inhale peace, exhale stress. If you feel the inclination, you may repeat after me. I am the very best version of myself. I am doing my very best in this moment. I invite peace and rest into my body. I accept what is today. I release the need to know everything at any given moment. I release myself to smile. Now I'll do a short reading. It's called All the Lonely People by Al Martinez. I received word the other day that a longtime acquaintance had died. We had worked together in the beginning years of my newspaper career, and while we hadn't been that close, he nonetheless had represented a link in a circle of friends that was growing smaller every year. I was losing my history. We were a hard drinking, cigarette smoking, fun loving bunch back then, not eating right or exercising or generally taking care of ourselves. We were in our 30s and didn't spend a moment worrying about how our bad habits were chipping away at our mortality. Life was a party and we were dancing to the beat. Among those I knew on the editorial staff of the Oakland Tribune, only a few still survive. Most died in their 40s and 50s when the norm of an expected lifespan collided with a misbegotten lifestyle. At 83, I'm burdened by all kinds of ailments, but remain somehow still on my feet, trying to define the world around me. I left the party early, and it had given me more years to contemplate. But there is a kind of loneliness to survival in the slow diminishment of a group. One feels alone and often isolated. I remember thinking about that years ago as my mother-in-law at age 96 was dealing with the lonely world she had inherited. Her husband had died, and so had all of the friends she had known as far back as first grade. When she visited us in her final years, she would sit alone watching television far into the night, bored by the reruns, but craving the company of familiarity that the shows provided. More than once, she said to me how she missed her husband and friends and how she wished she could join them. As she lay dying a few years ago, we couldn't help but notice the peaceful composure of her final expression. My feeling and hers at the loss of a husband and good friends represents a form of grieving often difficult to overcome. In her case, she mourned them with the immediacy of a funeral in progress, yearning to be with them. I remember my lost friends with a distant smile and am grateful that my very best friend, my wife of 63 years, remains with me. Grief counselors tell us to cry when crying is required in the moment of death, but then move on. Adopt new activities, they say. Join clubs. Find new friends. Grief is a natural response to loss, they add, but not a way of life. We lost our eldest daughter, Cindy, to cancer 2 years ago, and hardly a day goes by that I don't think of her. But the tears are long since dry, and when the family talks about her, it's with laughter and a kind of joy that reanimates her in the deepest parts of memory. We are left with the pleasure of her company in more ways than we could have ever imagined. It is so beautiful to experience life with a group of people, and so different when we outlive almost everyone in our circle. Yet we run into people who are in that exact circumstance very often in our line of work. They are almost the last man or woman standing, and we are their touch point. I applaud you for being the friend and the caregiver and the touch point of so many individuals with not many relatives their age left. If you have closed your eyes, I invite you to open them. Begin to move around. Shrug your shoulders, stretch, become mentally ready for the next part of your day. Thank you for spending a few moments with me to relax. And thank you for being you. Have a wonderful day or rest of your day. Bye.